The Eastern Sierra News, brought to you by the T-Bar Social Club, June Lake's newest gathering place, offering June pie, New York-style pizza, and year-round entertainment with a warm, welcoming atmosphere. See you in the loop.
Deb Murphy filed this report and photo for Sierra Wave. With a legal settlement on the horizon, the Los Angeles Department of Water and Power is set to turn on well 385 in the Five Bridges area for a 2-month test. On the surface, this seems like no big deal, but the dispute of pumping a well that was permanently shut down more than 30 years ago because of negative impacts to vegetation started nearly 4 years ago. A lawsuit between Owens Valley Committee and the Sierra Club versus LEDWP and the county has been ongoing since. The Inyo County Water Department and LEDWP explained the parameters of the test at last week's meeting of the technical group. Well 385 will be screened to pump at 2.8 CFS, only from the deep aquifer. The purpose, according to Aqueduct Manager Clarence Martin, is to test impacts before putting the well into the department's pumping rotation. LEDWP's hydrologist Saeed Jouret said, well 385 will be considered new because it is functionally different. The logic of running the 2-month test during winter months, there will be time for the water level to recover before the end of the official rainy season. Jouret added the test will give the department the opportunity to update groundwater models. Since the legal matters have yet to be finalized, the tech group will set another meeting to set trigger points for the pump test. 29 wells will be monitored during the test, according to Inyo Water Department Director Aaron Steinwan. 6 of those will have trigger water levels that, if reached, would stop the test. Jouret explained if the pumping reaches those trigger points, the pumping will stop. We thank Deb Murphy for that story and photo. This in from Barbara Lahan, NIH Strategic Communications. Inyo County's representatives, State Senator Andres Burgues and Assemblyman Devin Mathis, recently recognized Northern Inyo Healthcare District for its designation as the Healthcare District of the Year by the Association of California Healthcare Districts. Mathis, representing California's 26th Assembly District, visited the district to present NIHD Board of Directors and Chief Executive Officer Kevin S. Flanagan, MD, MBA, with a framed Assembly resolution. Borges, representing California's 8th Senate District, had an improved State Senate certificate delivered by Field Representative Dana Jorgensen. In October, Northern Inyo Healthcare District's success with its Medication-Assisted Treatment, or MAT program, garnered the district top honors from the Association of California Healthcare District, also known as ACHD, as it named NIHD California's Healthcare District of the Year for 2019. During the preceding 3 years, the district and others began to review opioid use. They identified a trend in the escalation of overdoses, deaths, criminal cases, and medical issues associated with opioid use, misuse, and abuse. NIHD applied for and was one of 31 named recipients for the Bridge Grant. This action allowed for the creation of the MAT program, which is now expanding into other areas of behavioral health treatment. Since the implementation of the program, NIHD has seen more than 92 enrolled patients in 11 months. Every NIHD emergency department physician has earned special certification to prescribe the highly controlled anti-addiction medication, and more than a half dozen patients have been treated with the life-saving medication Narcan by police, first responders, or private citizens outside of the hospital. State health officials have also asked the program's coordinators to share their path of success and growing expertise with other healthcare agencies in hopes of launching similar programs in other areas of California. Senator Borges' certificate noted that the district's MAT program has broken barriers to treat patients dealing with behavioral health issues and is improving their quality of life. It goes on to commend the entire NIHD staff for the program's creative efforts that will truly save lives. Assemblyman Mathis' resolution, read into Assembly's official record on November 14th, made note of the vital and interdependent relationship between communities and their nonprofit healthcare organizations. The resulting health outcomes and the spirit of ongoing community engagement fostered through charitable activities. Mathis's resolution goes on to note that in keeping with the district's vision, NIHD has stood firm to its core value of compassion and integrity, aspirational values of quality, excellence, and innovation, and permissive values of safety and team-based partnerships with its professional staff. Mathis then went on to congratulate the district as ACHD's Healthcare District of the Year and commended the Board of Trustees, leadership, and staff for continually providing outstanding healthcare services to the residents of Northern Inyo County. Again, Dr. Flanagan noted his pride in the district staff. True to its visions of being the recognized healthcare leader in the Eastern Sierra, NIHD has, through its incredible staff, once again been able to set the standard for the state in regards to how dedicated and passionate staff can positively impact a person's health. We have the full report on our website, sierrawave.net. Well, on 12/9/2019 at 16:07 hours, officers of the Bishop Area CHP responded to a two-vehicle collision at the intersection of US 395 and SR 168 East in Big Pine. A silver Nissan sedan was attempting a left turn from westbound SR 168 onto southbound US 395 when it was struck by a black Dodge SUV traveling northbound on US 395. A preliminary investigation on scene indicates that the Dodge was traveling at a high rate of speed through Big Pine just prior to the collision. Fortunately, no injuries were reported by either driver. This collision is still under investigation by the Bishop Area CHP. As always, Bishop CHP would like to thank Inyo County Sheriff's Department, CDFW, USFS, and Big Pine Volunteer Fire Department for their rapid assistance on scene. Well, the Bishop Area Climbers Coalition, Eastern Sierra Interpretive Association, ESIA, and Friends of the Inyo, in partnership with the Bureau of Land Management, Bishop Field Office, and the Inyo National Forest, have hired 2 climbing rangers to patrol the increasingly popular climbing and bouldering areas in the Bishop area. The Bishop Area Chamber of Commerce, Geraldine C. and Emery M. Ford Foundation, Touchstone Climbing Incorporated, along with individual organization fundraising events, have contributed funds to help support the 2 climbing ranger positions. The rangers will be focused on the tablelands, Happies and Sads, Buttermilk, Pine Creek, the Owens River Gorge, Upper Gorge, the Sacreds, and the Druids. One of the main goals for the rangers is to provide education to climbers about where to park and camp, leave no trace principles, and climbing etiquette. Events like Climber Coffees will help develop a community forum for climbers in the area. The climbing rangers will also track visitor use patterns, including documenting parking and camping uses and tracking changes over time. Lastly, the rangers will oversee restoration and stewardship activities such as campsite cleanup, trail delineation, educational signage, planting native plants in heavily used areas, etc. They will help coordinate volunteer events and look to remedy issues such as off-road travel and otherwise recommend long-term solutions to increasingly used patterns. Alexa Flower, one of the new rangers, grew up near Vail, Colorado, doing a lot of outdoor sports. In her senior year of college, she discovered rock climbing. She graduated with a marketing degree. After working, she realized she was on the wrong career path. She moved to Yosemite to flip burgers at the Tuolumne Grill. She moved into the National Park Service and worked as a climber steward with YOSAR for 3 seasons, and most recently, climbing ranger for Yosemite National Park. She spent the past winters working ski patrol in Breckenridge, near where she grew up. She is a frequent contributor to Climbing Magazine and the climbing scene. We welcome her. Jimmy Copenhagen found his love for being outside and enjoying our public lands early on when his family took him to Sequoia National Park. He found a passion for climbing and started bouldering outside visiting places like Joshua Tree, Yosemite, and Tramway. Ultimately, he found Bishop and absolutely fell in love with the Eastern Sierra. He started seasonally with the National Park Service and Devil's Tower National Monument, working along the climbing rangers there, became one of the SAR team members, and got his Wildland Fire certification. After the summer in Devil's Tower ended, he became the climbing steward in Joshua Tree National Park, educating climbers to reduce use impacts to assist the climbing ranger. He returned to Devil's Tower to work as a law enforcement ranger, where an emphasis on climbing. We welcome him as well. Well, the Amaka Board of Directors announced that Robert Bob Hughes has been appointed as Amaka's new executive director. He succeeds Charles Broughton, who is retiring after 5 years with the agency. Mr. Hughes has professional experience in banking. One of his key accomplishments was developing relationships with auto and furniture dealers that required fair treatment of customers in order to participate in lending programs. He also adapted a business model to effectively serve low-income and Spanish-speaking communities. Recently, Hughes worked as AmeriCorps, statewide volunteer infrastructure project leader in Napa, California. He led a group of 130-plus volunteers serving dozens of nonprofit agencies in the state. He completed a 1,700-hour service year with CalServe's AmeriCorps. Carolyn Ballet, Amaka chairperson, says, Amaka has been extremely fortunate to have had Charlie Broughton in recent years, working successfully to implement the goals of our mission statement and assist the managers to maximize their talents in serving the low-income people in our counties. We look forward to working with Bob Hughes to continue increasing the impact Amaka has in our community. We will be back with a new feature on being outside on the east side, holiday events this weekend to attend, updates on Bishop Broncos football, and Dennis Mattinson's weather.